Hi, I've spent the last week or so visiting a few cities in North Asia. I'm in Hong Kong, but also Seoul and Tokyo before this. Usually you might say there's fewer similarities between those markets than there are differences, but look, not right now, all obviously affected by this energy price crisis, but also all of these markets quite strong beneficiaries of this amazing technology, AI, data center story over the past couple of years. And maybe that technology linkage is why I found, pleasantly surprised by generally a watchful and alert tone towards the Middle East rather than panicked. I wouldn't say I met nobody that was panicked, a few isolated instances, but in general I would say, look, analytical and a little bit careful about not jumping to conclusions. Great news, I think. Maybe secondly, as well as a leap off from that, lots of thinking about what this might change, what it might mean in the future. Not everything caught up in, not everyone just caught up in surviving until tomorrow, but also thinking about the changes in the business environment and the investment environment that are likely to come down the track because of what is going on. Look, for mine, I think in large part this crisis is likely to sustain trends which were building and have been building already. Economies focusing on building national resilience through industry policy in a more uncertain world. Certainly it's easy to think of energy security being higher up the hierarchy of needs. Countries increasingly looking at their defence industry posture quite differently, recognising that, you know, after a few crises in a row, you probably have to start thinking there's a sequence there rather than each one being a surprise. And I guess directly economically, just another reason for economies to push out fiscal repair. Bond markets have already been telling us the last couple of years there are pretty serious fiscal issues in a range of markets, including the US. Obviously, governments in many economies are trying to buffer the impact on households. And then there's the strategic imperative which will come from this. Clearly, talking in the Middle East is enough for markets today. Ultimately, we need to see that shift to oil actually transiting through the Strait and delivering into these shortages that are there. If we can do that over the next month or two, then I think North Asia looks like it's in a pretty strong position.